Well, I promised myself I'd be back, so here I am, 1 month on. Definitely no fitter, but just as keen. No potential for snow this time, but -2 apparently in the morning. So, another 20 minutes or so, should be there. We'll just wander up the rest of this hill and I'll see you when we get there. Nearly there, but it might be not pretty when it gets felled, but the views you get without the trees in the way are, well, they're not bad. They're really not bad. That sunset might look good in a little bit. Undoubtedly I'll be too busy to catch it, but there you go. Right, let's have a little shaky cam. See if anyone's been up. It's been used. The sticks all over the place. Because we've been coming here for days, for a few years now. It's been relatively well pillaged of stuff for the kids to play with. Ooh, well, something's been happening, but most of this just looks the way it was. Yeah, someone's been up and had a play. Good. More the merrier. Nobody's trashed this. It's always a bit of a fear that I'm going to come up and find it full of broken glass and tins and feel a bit responsible for making something that looks like a place to be, although we took it on from whoever did it before us. But if we did, we just clean it up, maybe even take it out. Right, well, the sun's fading. This isn't exactly broadcast quality film, so I don't know what it'll look like for you. I'll best start getting set up. Whether it looks like it or not, I have brought a ton less gear than last time. Just don't really look like it, does it? The joys of bungees at least are going to keep the sleeping bag a bit more in check, if nothing else. Another genius solution. And the ultimate stealth camper accessory, the almost forgotten frying pan in the Sainsbury's bag. At least if it was hunting season I wouldn't get shot in the left temple. Oh, and there's no shooting here, but never mind. Let's get set up. It's a bit chilly. Oh, remembered stuff I forgot last time. Somehow I've still got as much, but who knows. I filmed next to nothing again because I'm too busy trying to get something done. It really struggled to get the fire going tonight. Really struggled because everything is soaking wet. I brought next to nothing with me. I brought some stuff to light a fire, but was convinced I'd be able to find something dry. Did in the end, a second attempt. A heap of dead rhododendron hung up in the lower branches of a tree. That went up like a rocket. That was fantastic. Got everything going. Steak and mushroom and onions, making for another delicious tea. And picked up a sweet potato on my way out. Who knew? Slice it up, slap it in with a bit of oil, fry it up. Some delicious sautéed sweet potato. The fire's just about done now though. And the wind direction's changed, so it's now blowing
straight into the awning. It's all open on this side. Fire's underneath the awning. It's high on one side, drops down the back of the hammock. So the smoke's kind of blowing back towards the hammock, so I'm just going to wait till it's died right down and then tuck myself up. It's just past 0 on the way down, the temperature, according to all the local weather stations and everything else. So it's chilly. Don't know if you can see my breath. I can. But it's a glorious night again, when I'm not shining a torch in my face. There's stars aplenty. If we were a little further from the road, the noise from the cars would have gone. But can't have everything. Be a longer walk then, I might not make it. So I shall finish off my Aldi special ginger beer. It was really quite pleasant. And sort myself out for bed. And we'll see if we get anything going again for breakfast in the morning. Tried to dry a whole bunch of wood around the fire. Saved a good handful of the rhododendron. So we might still just manage a bacon and mushroom muffin or two for breakfast. For now though, good night. Morning folks, it's a beautiful morning. Birds whittering away. Cold though. Claw. I was a bit on the edge in here last night. I was definitely not too warm. Slept okay though. But it looks to me like out there. Oh, I've missed the best of the sunrise. I was awake a bit earlier, and it was just starting, and I've kind of dozed off a little bit. But it looks like there's a fairly heavy inversion. This time of year we get them quite often. Look out the bedroom window and you can see down in the valleys all filled up with cloud. Let's spin you around, give you a bit of a peek. Don't know how well you'll be able to spot it. You know, camera. Oh no, you can there. Oh, cloudy down in the valley. The wind got up a bit last night, so that corner, rather than relying on the really long line that disappears off to the trees over there again, grabbed another line and lashed it down to a log. It was raining again in the night. Ew! I haven't quite tightened everything up enough. We've sagged quite a lot in the middle. So we've got a little, tiny little puddle there, tiny little puddle up here. Still just about snug enough. And with any luck, a tiny little pile dry rhododendron will get me going this morning. Time for some breakfast. See you in a bit, folks. Well, the wind's back in its usual direction this morning, so we'll just wait for this to burn itself down, and we'll get some breakfast on. Everything's so smoky, it's all damp on the surface, but finally, with the wind going the way it almost always goes, I rearranged the tarp this time so it's just got a little bit of a peak and it's less enclosed, and it does seem to be helping it get a little bit less smoky under here. What a gorgeous sky there. Well, the wind's changed direction again, so it's getting a little smoky back in the camp. But this morning is just getting gorgeous. More and more beautiful by the minute. And I'm guessing, for a lot of us, a lot of people who are watching this anyway, this is why we're out. You might be able to hear the traffic on roads nearby. Don't know if you can hear the birds. Yeah, another happy little coincidence. The Petromax folding trivet is just the perfect size for a 14cm zebra billy to get the maximum out of the dregs of your fire. Just fits really quite snugly in there. Might be the last brew. As anyone watching this who knows what they're doing will probably rapidly say, no wonder it's a bit breezy when the wind's coming from the wrong direction, but once again set up to cover the fire in case it got a bit drizzly, and it did, even though it wasn't forecast. And it wasn't too chilly. It's a lovely place to call home for the night though. Right by now. Standard shorten the huggers trick. Wrap around a stick. The bungee I brought up to hold the sleeping bag onto my rucksack. It's just going to make sure the stick didn't want to slip whilst I was setting up. And that there extra length of whoopee sling being the reason for needing it. I suspect without that underquilt it would have been chilly, because it was a bit on the cool side last night. I never got cold, but I was definitely never too hot. Never too hot. Ooh, I do like this spot. In fact, I bet I like this spot more than you like the sound of Zoom.
Right, that's us done. Time to head off home. Apparently they're baking at home again. Get in. There'll be something delicious. The family does bake well, it really does. Sun's gone in, but at least I was out here for the best part of the day. Gonna go home, slightly different route to normal, a few minutes longer. I'm just gonna see if I can spot anywhere that's a bit more secluded, because when the people are coming past riding horses, that gap there, or if they're on bikes, you can just see them straight as they go past, and most of the way across the bottom there as well. They're high enough to sort of see over. During the summer it wasn't such a problem because they're basically invisible behind some of the vegetation that comes up, but well, there's not so much vegetation now, and it'd be good to branch out of it. This is the only place really I've ever set up. It'd be nice to start somewhere from scratch, because that fire circle bit there, that was all there already. We shuffled it around a little bit, dragged up a few logs and things. It's good to branch out. Anyway, catch you later. Bit of potential down the edge of the Forestry Commission stuff. There's just this tiny little triangle where there's a bunch of trees that'd be no good for hanging a hammock, but there's enough open space where we could get a tent down, and it's not all heathery and bilberry and whatever it is, but in between the trees there's slightly flatter bits where we could get a tent in. Nothing huge to drop on us, and possibly best of all, there's a bit of rubbish that somebody's dumped here, and there's the gate to a field. I'm hoping if I can find out whose gate and field that is, I'll be able to approach them, offer to clean it up, and in return, can I bring my kids up and stick a tent on now and then? Just keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't get covered in rubbish. Fingers crossed, we might get somewhere. But I better dash home now, as my wife's off for a training walk with a mate. She's doing a 26-mile charity walk at the end of the year, and they rather think they should get in some sort of shape. I agree. I've generously offered to meet them with the camper van at a couple of spots along the way and provide a drink. Good of me, isn't it? Right, a good night and a good morning may have just got a bit better. So, I'm going to truck off home again. If you've watched this, once again, well done for finding it. And thank you for having a watch. I'll hopefully see you in about a month's time for the next one. See ya.